Hello everyone, this is Mr. Skinny. I am back with a Android Netrunner commentary, and a couple of things to note really quickly. Number one is I am a genius, and I have my streaming software hotkeyed to number 1 and number 2 on the keyboard and the numpads, and so during the course of the game I actually hit the number 2, which is stop streaming. So full disclaimer up front, there's a missing chunk of the game, but I will explain what happens. It's not critical. I can definitely catch you up, so please stay tuned, but I wanted to be upfront about it. Don't want to lead you in with wrong expectations. So that's it. I'm going to kick this off. This is also, I played from first-person perspective, but I am not playing commentating. So this is actually happening in the past. You can see there's 2 arrows here. It's crazy, like a meta. Like there's my arrow from before, and here's my arrow now. But I'm going to leave that alone because that does not need to be moving. And so we're actually into the game. And another couple of things. I'm actually playing Tuism, who I believe is quite the quite the big contributor on the Android page on Board Game Geek, big rules expert. I don't know. I might be talking out of my arse here. Actually, I have no idea. I've just seen his name a lot. Seems like a good guy. Very well respected. So I was very honored to play. I've actually played him once before. But he's a fun guy. There's a lot of goofy chat going on throughout the game, so so a lot of fun playing him. Hope to do it again. And he tends to like these crazy decks. I think the last time I played him, I played Jinteki. As you can see, I was highlighting. He likes to just throw out a million server cards right up front to just say, "Oh yes, it's coming. Don't you worry." So that's what he did. So, and you can see I'm playing Gabriel. He's playing Jinteki, the second Jinteki ID. He's playing the one where you have to run a central server before you run a remote. So he's giving up that sweet power of the original ID where you actually take net damage anytime an agenda is stolen or scored. So, as you can see, I'm Gabriel. He went ahead, just iced once. And I had a Sneak Door beta. I actually had 2 in my hand at the start of the game. So I was very pleased to see, it's always great to get that because then you just pop that out immediately and start running HQ early. And so I did that. I did 1 click to buy Sneak Door, and then I just kept on running for, and I think I hit Chum twice. I hit his, I don't know if it's the same Chum, but I did hit the same Chum. I hit a Chum card twice, and then my third run on HQ, and I hit a Mining Corp. So the good old Melange Mining Corp, I just trash it for 1. He's very sad. He says, "Oh no," and then it goes back to him. So I think I got you all caught up. It's tough to intro while the game's actually going on, but yeah. So we will see how this goes. Yeah, and as you see, lots of typing. I'm gonna try not to distract myself by reading that typing. I'll leave it to you guys. If you want to read the chat, you're welcome to. But so he took his turn. He actually put out 2 new installed servers, and then I think he just took a credit. And he's telling me to just pick a remote. So I draw a card for my first click. As you can see, I've got the inside job. Also a nice card to have early. Because there's only typically 1 ice servers out early in the game, so you can usually sneak your way into a server quickly. I drew into a modded, so and that's what I want to say about is that the deck I am using. So if you watched my prior video, you might recognize a lot of these cards from this deck. So this deck I built inspired from playing the Gabriel opponent I played last game. Hopefully that's, I don't know, we all share decks in this world. It seems like there's this awesome deck builder site, Card Game DB, where people actually submit decks and you can download them. But so I did build this deck, but I built it very much inspired by the cards I saw from my opponent last game. I thought it all seemed very strong. So anyway, so I go ahead and I run his first remote server, and I found a contracts assets. That's the one where it just basically feeds him money every turn. I didn't want to trash it. It costs 5 credits. I only have 4 right now. You do love to trash it, essentially. You don't, keep the corp poor, but I couldn't do it. So I was deciding what to do. I used my final click to just put out the Armitage code busting job. So that's the job where you just keep clicking on it for $2 back each time. And yeah, so I've been running. So I've run his HQ every turn, multiple times sometimes. as Gabriel, of course, you just want to do that. I mean, you get 2 credits back. It's actually a cheaper click to run his HQ, and you're getting to see a card out of it. So as long as he leaves that archives unprotected, I will be running it at least once a turn. And I actually mentioned there, I see that, I forgot that R&D is also uncovered. Why am I not taking a free card off of R&D? As I might have said in prior casts, run... if you can get to see 1 free card, you're in amazing shape. If you get to see multiple free cards, you're in even more phenomenal shape. But in general, you should expect to pay to see cards. So, getting to see free cards, you should always take that opportunity. And, leave the infrastructure building to later. See the free card. So I start my turn, and he's iced up his second server. I start my turn and draw into a second... I can't tell what that icebreaker is. I get the pictures confused, but it's, maybe a corrodor. It's one of the icebreakers, but I've got 2 of them. And so instead I draw a card, and then I make a run on his R&D. So I finally realized, yes, why don't we see a free card? He's shouting snare. I need to stop looking at that chat. And I find a chimera, and so yeah, I leave that where it is. I take another little money off of the job and turn it back over to him. Yeah, it's very hard to keep up with the clicks, especially when I can't control the game at all and see what last happened. Or it looks like I'm scrolling back to see, but not far enough. And now I'm mocking his Jinteki because he plays a very crazy game. He's like I said, a goofy guy, and so he might actually be a Jinteki player that doesn't put snare in, which would be kind of nuts, but can't put anything past him. So he did his mandatory draw and then drew another card with his first click. And now he's installing a 3rd server. And then playing, what is that? It disappears so quickly, but yes, he played a hedge fund. So he's got 11 credits now to my 7. And let's see, and he's got 3 cards in his hand. I even checked that. Look at me, I'm thinking of the cast ahead of time, but yeah. Okay, so I pick up a corrodor. Oh, and I've got a ninja. Okay, so yeah, so I've actually got 2 icebreakers in my hand, 2 icebreaker types, which is great. I don't even need to go searching for them. I use the modded to install the expensive icebreaker, the ninja, which is a 4 credit one, I believe. So that was cheap. And then I run, I do the sneak door, and I see this shipment from Kaguya. So that's the one, I believe, that lets you put advancement tokens on, 1 token on 2 cards. And I think I see that a lot in this game. And then I run R&D again. He keeps calling for the snare. Do I hit a snare? We will see. So I take the top card. I must have run his HQ before. Oh, and I found Executive Retreat. So there we go. I need to play slower if I'm doing this for... Yeah, look at me. I'm just speeding along. So yes, the opposite of snare there. I got a 3-point agenda. So hooray, finally. He needs to start protecting his servers, because I am having free run. There we go. So he does go ahead and ice his R&D. He's feeling very betrayed by his R&D there, and installs a 4th remote server, and then grabs a credit. So I kick off my turn. I have 1 icebreaker out, the ninja, and I draw into an easy mark. So I know I'm obviously thinking I've got to keep running HQ. I get a credit from it. I get 2 credits for doing it, and you never know. Each turn he might have been picking up an agenda. It's not obvious he'd put it out. He hasn't iced any of them. It's very tough though. You'll see later my frustration playing Jinteki is just that it's that whole, he knows that you know that I know. So it's like, would he just leave it unprotected? So there I see the shipment from Kyuga again, and he's laughing. So I keep going into his hand and seeing that same shipment card. I don't know if he's got multiple of them or not. So I'm trying to figure out what to do my last 2 clicks. Looks like I'm thinking about just using Inside Job to probably hit his R&D. Or I'm thinking, oh, there we go. Look, I'm even mousing over things to tell you what I'm thinking about. But thinking about that remote that he's iced up. Like, is that the one that he's actually put his agenda into? So I do inside job, and I inside job the R&D, so I'm in, and here we go, hedge fund, so useless again. I guess I shouldn't be so unhappy that I've already scored a 3-point agenda, but seeing all these cards, I feel like I'm sure I deserve more. Oh, and I forgot I had a click left, so fortunately the game reminds you, you've still got a click, why are you ending your turn? So I decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to play the easy mark? No, I just decided to grab a card, have it for next turn, so I've got my full 4-click complement. And I think there I am complaining. Yeah, seeing too many free cards. So look, and then he advances his 4th server 3 times and scores. So, yep, he did just throw out a, an agenda, unprotected. Took the risk that I wouldn't buy into it. And so, I'm now going to be probably more cautious. I have to at least start running them and take the hit. So I draw into a Cortez chip. I remember I added this. I hadn't seen it in my prior opponent's deck, but it seemed like a decent criminal card to splash in. Anything to keep the court poor. And I like that it's 0 cost. Anything 0 cost is good. But of course you're burning a click to put it out on the board, and arguably a click to even draw it. So nothing's free in this game really. So yeah, I go ahead and just throw that out there. And then I played out my Corroder, so I have 2 of the 3 major icebreakers out. And then it looks like I'm just going to go into through the sneak door and get another glimpse at HQ and get myself 2 credits. And I just saw a hedge fund again. So there I am, ending my turn. So I've almost got my full rig up, although I have no memory, and I'm going to need to get another memory at least to get the final code gate breaker. So he reveals his mining core in that protected server, and then just swipes 7 credits. So that puts a little pressure out. You don't really want the core to just have that access to the mining core. Probably one of the strongest cards in the game. And it's cheap to trash, you just got to get to the thing. So I draw a card for my first click, and I draw Aesop's Pawn Shop, another fantastic card. There's no actual way to trash cards in the rig other than the programs. You can trash programs, but the hardware and resources stay out, so you don't want them out. The Pawn Shop's a great way to get rid of them and get some cash back. So it looks like I ran HQ on my click 2, and I didn't see anything that interesting, but I got my 2 credits, and then I run the remote. Remember, I have to run a central server before I run a remote because of his Jinteki ID. So I did that. He shows me a chum. Now I don't have a code gate breaker, so I'm just scared of what could be beyond the chum. Just given how much, if you do not break that next ice, that's 3 net damage and a tag. It's just not. Technically, look, I've got a bunch of cards. I probably was considering it because I had, I've got a couple of duplicate cards in my hand. What's the worst that can happen? I just lose some cards and I can spend the last click to get rid of the tag. But I was too shy, and I do feel like I'm a very shy player from the taking net damage, which I probably need to get over and just say, look, there's plenty more cards in your deck. But so I just go ahead and go through R&D instead for my final click, and it looks like he. Yeah, I really need to go slow when I'm playing if I'm going to be casting them. So it looks like I saw another Melange mining core and I trash it. And then I said, why did I even trash that? Because he's got a mining core out already. Probably better to let it jam up his hand, know that he's not drawing another agenda. But I did. I trashed it anyway. It's instinct. You need to trash those mining cores when you can. And I already trashed one earlier in there, so there's only 1 mining core left. So that's there's a consolation. So I can't tell. Oh, that's just one of those small ice walls on his R&D. So I just broke through that, I believe, simply with the barrier breaker. And so he puts out another ice on his R&D, and that's his first click. See what he does. So his second click, he finally protects his archives. The amount of sneak dooring in I have done this game, probably 10 runs on it, maybe. So it's good that he's finally protected the thing, and makes strange noises while he does it. I'm saying I wish that you let me keep getting free access to your cards. And then he installs yet another ice on the mining core. So this is going to be his main remote. Clearly, well, you never know with Jinteki, but you figure that's usually where the agendas go, is into the highly protected server. So I kick off my turn and draw a compromised employee. I really liked this card, or hated this card when it was used against me. Just getting that money whenever the corp reses ice, it just feels so good. I splashed it. I put in it's not a splash because in influence, but I put in a snitch into the deck, something else I hadn't seen in the prior game. But I love that card. I haven't actually got to use it much before, but I love the idea of it. I hate face planting into unresed ice, and so it's such a great card. So it looks like I go ahead and put the compromised employee out, and then I'm not quite sure what I did for the last turn. Maybe took money off of the job. So no run that turn for the first time. And then he just took more money off his mining and sent it right back to me. So I've drawn the bank job. Pretty good one, actually. Bank job's great to see against the Jinteki because they'll often have a lot of remotes out, and you don't even have to risk what's in the remote. You just run the remote and then jack out of it and take your money. And then you see I'm comboing it with the pawn shop, which is where you can actually take 7 credits off of the bank job, leave 1 on there, and then pawn off the last of it, and you get 3 credits back. So the bank job will end up netting you 10 credits minus, so 10 total because you spent 1 to put it out. But yeah, so I do go ahead and so I ran one of his centrals. Oh wait, it's going too quick. I ran one of the centrals and then ran the remote. Oh no, I didn't do it. I left it that time because I didn't have the clicks left to combo that. So not quite sure what else I did. I think I just drew another card and drew yet another bank job. So Tuism is asking how should I do this. So he's obviously got something planned, either tricky or scory, or tricky scory. Who knows? So he's icing up his archives. Always sick of getting sneak doored, and then playing a hedge fund, grabbing yet more money. He's 20 creds. Becomes a very rich Jinteki this game. I tell him so. And then he just draws a card. So back to me. And he's making fun that criminals are typically quite rich. And so I draw another Cortez chip. So yeah, I'm probably thinking about that combo I really want to do with the bank job. So I'm not sure, though I've got 6 cards now. So do I want to have to discard? So we shall see. So yeah, I put another Cortez out. Then reading the Cortez. That's what I'm doing. So the Cortez, you have to trash it and you have to announce what ice you're using on beforehand. So I'm running HQ, and so I'm using the Cortez. So that makes that ice cost 2 extra to res. Not really that big a deal, frankly, on him. He's got 20 credits, so who really cares? But I've drawn the card. It's free to use other than the clicks, so might as well start using them and start draining some of that money. So he's asking if I'm just going to use the one. I'm saving the other one. I guess I figure I'd rather spread out the pain. And we shall see. So he's thinking, what is he going to do? He's obviously, so that, the big thing for a co-op has to be to decide, what am I resing? Because if I res this server, I might stop this one, but then I might not have enough to res other servers. And it was a high cost card. It was the Wall of Thorns, so it cost him 10 to res because of the Cortez. So I got a credit back from the employee, always nice. And I do have a barrier breaker, and I think the Wall of Thorns is the barrier breaker. So So yeah, so I go ahead, and that's probably going to cost me 5, I believe. Yep, so I have to add 3 to the strength and then 2 subroutines to break. So it's 5 to go through. And I was thinking of taking the net damage, yeah, because, you know, like I said, I've got these duplicate cards. I'm not as worried about losing them, but, you know, it's better. I've got money. I've got ability to make money right now, so it's better to pay. So I go into the HQ, and I find a Ouroboros, so yet more ice in his hand. But I make another 2 credits back from running the HQ, and now I can go off to the remote server and get my bank job. So I run a remote. I'm not sure if I even announced which one, but I run the remote, and I take 7 off the bank job, and then the next turn I'll be able to pawn off the remainder that card and get 3 back, like I mentioned. So great way to make money. And, you know, less concerned. I mean, those 2 cards have been out for a long time. Those 2 were the first and third remote server. So I guess I'm not feeling that they're likely to be agendas. Probably assets he hasn't, you know, like private contracts or something like that. Or maybe a trap, but either way. So he goes ahead and mines again. So he's up to 17 credits again. You know, with leaving that card out, it's just, he's always going to be able to just have a lot of money. So, you know, I'm obviously wanting to go after it. So I put another bank job out. And it looks like I forgot to pawn the first bank job. But it won't matter, it will still be out there, assuming I don't get tagged. So I get another inside job, and I go after, I believe, HQ. Yeah, looking in HQ again. I've looked in HQ every turn, so I've stopped using the sneak door, and now I'm just going to HQ directly. I see a Trick of Light, which is, I believe, an MBN card, and that's the one that lets you move, you know, 2 advancement tokens over to another card. And then I run the remote and do the bank job again. And then I mentioned I forgot to pawn the first one, but yeah, I can do that next turn. So I am now doing the bank job. It's asking me, yeah, so I say 7, and oh yeah, so I remember this. So a little bug in the game actually that I need to report over to DB0, that it doesn't ask you which bank job. If you have 2 bank jobs out, it doesn't ask you which one you want to use. So it just assumed I wanted to use the first one, which I didn't. So I have to pull that out of my heap, and I'm not sure. Yeah, so I pull that out of my heap, and then I take and put the 1 credit back on it, and then I'm taking 7 off of the second bank job. So now I've got 2 bank jobs with just 1 in them. And so yeah, and then I have to actually, you know, I received a credit, so I need to take that away from myself. So yeah, so you know, fortunately the program, even though the automated scripting might do something wrong, you can always manually correct anything. Just a great program all round. I will give a shout out to in every commentary I remember to do it, but like everything you're seeing on this screen, this is all done by people who have not been compensated for their time, for their efforts, and they just do it out of love for you know, the game, and you know, they all have day jobs. So I thank them. Kelly Elton, who makes the Octagon program, and DB0, who made the Android mod, and many others. So you know, we all get to enjoy it because of that. And really, thanks should go to Fantasy Flight as well, who make Android Netrunner and don't, you know, shut this thing down. You know, so but you know, I always look at it as free marketing. I have very honestly, I have bought 2 core sets and all 4 expansions out so far because I've played it online and started to enjoy it. So, you know, and I don't think I'm alone in that. So really, you know, they're gaining a lot from it. So while I get distracted, I won't bother commentating on the game. Alright, back to the game. So what did I do? I pawned off that bank job. He advanced that 4th server twice. So you know, it could be a trap, and it's just so hard to know. But you know, what are you going to do? You're a runner. You've got to, you can't just let him run. You know, advance those. And so, so yeah, we'll see. So in my 3rd click, I sneak door in. I guess I don't want to go through the wall of thorns, and I don't have another inside job to skip it. So, so instead, I run the archives. And he reses, gives me a credit, and what do we get? We hit that Ouroboros, and I Cortezed it, so it did cost him more to res, and he's actually down to 9 credits again, which is nice. Oh, so I think he rezzed before my Cortez activated, even though I did draw the arrow to say I am Cortezing you. You know, all these things can be handled when you're actually voice chatting with the opponent while you play, but you know, they're few and far between. So I think error, something about the Cortez error. So he's going to go ahead and probably take away 2 credits from himself that he had to pay to res. Yeah, he does it. So then I assume I can't remember if Ouroboros. I think it's a sentry, and that I do have a sentry breaker, so I'm not sure how else to warn. Oh, okay, alright, we're just chatting about the interface problem. Mr. Skinny, in the past, please stop typing and get on with your game. Look, I'm either going too fast or too slow. Can't go just right. Alright, so I've finished chatty. What am I doing? Okay, Ouroboros, it's a sentry. 4 strength sentry, a bunch of traces. I probably don't want to do the traces despite having more credits than him. Maybe I do, actually. Yeah, that's probably what I'm considering, but I have a sentry breaker. So the that sentry breaker, it's 3 credits and you get 5 strength. So it usually breaks any ice you're going against for the 3 credits, but you know, you have to do it even for small ice. But it's good against powerful ice, so I spend the 5 credits plus 2 to break the 2 subroutines. So 5 credits, so 5 credits total. So not bad, 5 credits for a piece of ice. I've got lots of money. I've got more money coming in. So then he reses the next dude, and it's just a weak ice wall. So that'll only cost probably 1 credit, actually. Yeah, so I've already got the strength. So just one subroutine to break. Boom. 6 credits to get into the archives there. Sneak dooring in. And so I'm looking at the HQ. Let's see. And I find another Ouroboros. But I get my 2 credits for running. And now I have 1 click left. I assume I wanted to run that remote. Now what? Yeah, so I'm nervous, right? That 4th one that he advanced, you know, he knew that I could probably get into his centrals, so would he put it out there just unprotected? It's just hard to know. Yeah, now I'm saying it's an aggressive secretary. So, yeah, and I want to be able to expose, but I can't. That's probably something I did not put in this deck. Criminals have great exposed cards. There's the neutral infiltration, which lets you expose a card. They also have one which lets you expose 2 cards for 2 credits. So I really should have thought about putting some of those in. It's just having information is so important in this game, which is probably there was a top 5 things in this game. Get information. So will be the top 3 of those 5. So we're just saying we hate each other's factions. And I am very very conflicted about running that. I think the aggressive secretary, it does net damage for every token on it, so not looking forward to it. But looks like I do it anyway. So I run it. I run it, hating myself, and then access. And it is an agenda, so the Nikki MK agenda, so it's 2-point agenda, so I've now got 5 points to his 2 points. So yeah, good, and I am relieved, and I have 19 credits, so I am a happy runner, a rich runner. And so he just starts his turn and mines away, so he's up to 13 credits again. Now I'm revealing to him that this deck I got out of inspiration from a prior opponent, and that I probably put the wrong cards in it, although it's doing quite well for me, so I really do like it. And I called it Res Away, like Corp Res Away, so it was kind of like, I don't care if you res, I make money when you res. So I pawn off the other bank job, so that's another 3 credits, and it's not a click to do it, so I've got 3 clicks left and 22 credits. And now, so yeah, I remember this point in the game, I'm very conflicted. Do I put Snitch out, which is my last memory, and I have yet to see a way to make more memory, or do I save the memory for, you know, I'm hoping to get a code gate breaker, because, you know, that's the one weakness I have right now. So I draw a card, and there's my Corroder, Gordian Blade, my code gate breaker. So now I'm really, stuffed, and I install it, and obviously forgot that I don't have the memory to do it, so I uninstall it and have to take everything back. So take the click, take the credits. Oh, Oh, so there we go. So I warned you guys this would happen. This is where I must have hit the 2 button and stopped recording. So, utterly terrible. So I have to actually go out here and open oh, you can see all. Oh God, where is it? It's this one. So yeah, we then move on. So actually, oh well, I've revealed it a little bit. So the main thing that happened, and I hate that you missed this because this was kind of an exciting thing, is that oh yeah, I missed quite a lot. So I ended up putting the snitch out instead of the Gordian blade. So the snitch went out, which lets me look at ice one time in a run before I hit it, and then I can jack out. And then it ended up I ran a server and I hit a code gate, like an enigma. And so it was like, if I'd have had the Gordian blade, I could just waltz through this server. But instead I have a snitch telling me I can't waltz through this server. So that was great. That was a lot of fun. And then, so that happened. And then the big thing that happened was, before I could then get the code gate out, I'd managed to get myself an extra memory. So you can see here, I have, this is I think a Katmatsu, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's a mem chip that gives you an extra memory, an extra link. And so I could have enough to put Gordian Blade out. But our tricky Tuism Jinteki fella, he put out a 4th remote server. This is not the one, it was one from before. He put out another remote server, advanced it twice, just like before. I was highly suspicious, actually advanced it 3 times, so suspicious of it, but I didn't know what to do. I just felt like I can't just let him do it. So I gave myself 6 cards, I had 6 cards in hand, and I run it. And boom, he had put a June bug in there, which basically did 2 net damage per advancement token, I believe is what it did to me. I don't know if it tagged me as well, but you can see in our chat, actually the remnant of our chat, I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't want to swear on these things, I wanted to keep it PG, but you know, it's gonna happen, I'm British. So, but basically I was saying, damn, I had, I stopped streaming because I'm an idiot, so everyone's going to miss your June bug, and that's a shame. So his June bug pulled it off. He was so happy because I took 6 net damage, lost all 6 of my cards, almost died. If he'd have had a Neural EMP, I believe is the card, if he'd had a card that said do 1 net damage if the runner made a successful run last turn, I would have been out, and that would have been quite the game to lose from that occurrence. So it didn't happen, but I lost all my cards, including my code gate breaker. So now I'm stuck with a snitch, but no code gate breaker. So anyway, that's a lot of still shot for me to explain. Hopefully that's okay. I'm sorry you guys missed it, but we'll keep the game going now. We'll get back into the game, and you can send all your dislikes onto the video because of this cock up. Actually, please don't, because that will be really bad, and I'll be deranked forever. So like me, thumbs up. That's what I want. But okay, so yeah, I'm joking that I'm not going to tell anybody about the June bug, and then they'll never know what smart play he did. But I told you guys, and then I'd since drawn 4 cards. So that's what happened. The June bug had just happened, and then I think I used my last turn to just draw 4 cards. So no other scoring had occurred. I'm really, and I know that like my real problem now is my Gordian Blade is gone, and I have no idea if I've got another one. I can't remember if I put 2 in the deck or not. I think I did. So it looks like what I'm doing is I'm inside jobbing into his HQ again. So I'm getting past the Wall of Thorns, looking at a card here, finding a Chimera, and then with my final click I run a remote. So I think he just recently put out yet another 4th server. So I guess I want to look at that because I don't have a bank job out. You have 2 not enough of agendas, so I'm really doing the grammar well there. I have no idea what I believe, yeah, I ran the card. I wanted to look at it. I was like, screw it. I mean, again, and it was a false lead agenda, so I score a point, so I'm up to 6 points. And yeah, I think my thinking had to be he put it out. I've been so much pressuring both his HQ, right? He can't keep agendas in his hand because I've been running it every turn. It's just too risky. So he's had to be playing them out there and then just hoping I don't you know, I spend too much to get through the central to do a remote, or I just get scared of the remote because of the traps. But I had 3 cards in hand. I guess I'm figuring, well, if it's June Bug, it doesn't do anything to me. I think the worst that can happen with an unadvanced trap is that a snare will do 3 net damage to you. So I was just taking the risk. So he goes ahead and he's taking money off his private contracts. He had since rezzed that. And then he ices his 3rd server. I have finally drawn my first console, my Desperado. So that's the original console. The Criminal actually got a new one recently, the Doppelganger. But Desperado gives you 1 credit every time you do a successful run, so even more money-making opportunities for Criminal. So I go ahead and throw that up, and then for my 4th click I run HQ. So HQ is costing me 5 to run right now with the Wall of Thorns out there. But I get back 2 for being Gabriel and 1 for Desperado, so I'm getting 3 back. So it's only costing me 2 to run his HQ. So it just seems well worth doing. Every time he has to draw a card, he's scared of putting them out on the board, so you feel like there's probably an agenda in there. So I get a Trick of Light, and then I'm almost, I think he had mentioned that he's it's free for you to get into HQ right now, and I was almost free. So there you go. Oh, I don't know about you guys. I'm still feeling disconnected from that missed part of the middle of the match. I'm so bummed, but hopefully it's okay with you guys. And now I'm checking that I'm actually still recording. I'm gonna be paranoid about that all the time now. When did I stop the stream? Unfortunately there's no way. It'd be nice if it actually had a streaming clock to show that it's streaming, but it doesn't actually record that timestamp. I know people who actually have a proper rig to record on. Probably use dual monitors so that they're recording one screen but they can see stuff going on their desktop on the other. But I'm not that smants, so so he just took a bunch of money off private contracts, it looks like, and installed yet another 4th server. And I'm asking him, is that the snare that he's been holding all game? Because I haven't seen a snare at all from him, and you've got to figure that it's such a great card that Jinteki would keep it. So I install my 3rd compromised employee, and I pawn off my again drained bank job. I actually did that out of order, but most people don't care. He's shouting at the compromised employees. This was, as you know from the prior game, I loved that, seeing 3 money come in per res, it just felt so demoralizing. But yeah, so I go ahead and run in on HQ. It kind of became a routine, is click 3, run the HQ, then run a remote, either bank job the remote or actually look at the card. So I wasn't even bothered about not finding anything HQ. I just always felt well, I'm getting a look at cards. So there's that shipment from Kaguya again, which I think I've seen all game. And then I run a remote, and I'm running the one that he iced. And I snitch to check it out first, and it reveals a Chimera, so that's the mythic ice that he can make it anything he wants, and of course he can make it a code gate. So yeah, so I say I'm going to continue, assuming that he'll just res it and then I won't be able to get through, but he doesn't res it. I'm not quite sure why. It costs him a credit, and I guess it's he costs him 1 and it will net me 3, but I won't be able to break it, so I'm not sure why he didn't do that. But yeah, he let me in, so now I'm suspicious. Oh god, you're letting me in, it's probably a trap. This is the endless mind games of Jinteki. Is you're exhausted. It's actually, I find the Corp a much more exhausting side to play, because you're always under attack. But then playing against Jinteki is the only exception to that rule, is that how exhausting it is to not know what you're going to hit. But so I hit the yet another private contract. So it costs 5 to trash. I actually didn't trash it. I have 14 credits in hand, which is a nice high amount to go ahead and trash a moneymaker. But the fact is, he's got 26 credits. I'm not feeling like he's going to be broke anytime soon, so extra money seems irrelevant. And he's got a mining core out that I haven't even got close to kind of breaking through because of his code gate there. So he's got ways to make money. It just didn't feel worth me spending 5 to to do that. So yeah, I didn't trash it, so it was a bit of a wasted run. And he goes ahead and installs another ice on the 4th server, and then he puts an advancement on the two advanceable ice over on the archives and the R&D. And you know, I mean, I'm figuring he's setting up for a Trick of Light. I've seen it's in his hand, so he can like move tokens over. And this is worrying because it does seem like, okay, with one Trick of Light, he could put 2 advancement tokens and then advance 2 more times, and so he could score a 4 difficulty agenda right now in his next turn. So I just drew into an account Siphon, another great card to drain the corp of money, but kind of meaningless at this point of the game. He's got 24 credits, draining him of 5 is nothing. I don't need the money, and I take 2 tags, which is 2 clicks to deal with, so I don't bother with that. I decide to go ahead and run HQ, and I'm actually going to have to discard, but I don't care. I'm like, I need to go after that 4th card. So I run HQ, see another Trick of Light, that Trick of Light that I've been worrying about, and then I sigh because I feel like I've got to run that 4th server. How the heck... He's like, how are you making all this money? Well, he's seen the money. But yeah, so I go ahead and run the remote anyway. And I snitch in, hoping it's not a code gate, obviously, because there's just nothing I can do about it. So he exposes the code gate, so nothing I can do about it. And I assume I jack out. Yeah, jack out. He says continue. I'm never quite sure why he asks me. I guess it's like, do I want to force him to res it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I was a bit of an idiot there, because I don't lose anything. I had no clicks left. Might as well have let him res the code gate. I get 3 credits for it, and he stops me getting in. If he doesn't res it, then I get in. So yeah, I should have continued the run. The whole point of snitch is you want to do it, you know, if you're going to take damage or something. So yeah, so I'm joking that the last Guardian is probably at the bottom of my deck, so I'm not going to ever be able to get that code gate breaker out. And you know, he's saying stop being a whiny bitch because you have more points than me. Yes. So let's see what he's doing. Yeah, and I'm saying I'm going to lose by a lousy Enigma. You know, like this weak ass, you know, like kind of low level early game code gate ice, but it's like I can't break the code gates. That's one of the most. So there's only, unless I'm wrong, there's only 2 cards in the corp, in the runner so in the corp. Well, yeah, I guess. I'm getting very confused. No, the runners actually have ways. So the runner, you could use a Deja Vu, for instance, to get a card out of the heap. And I think there's another card, the test run, lets you take a card out of your heap or your stack and install it. So there's ways to get cards back from the heap. I always felt like the Corp is in charge. Like the Corp, there's 2 HB cards. There's an agenda and an HB archive members that lets you get cards out of the archives, and that's it. So unless you splash an HB card in other Corp factions, you can't get cards out of the archives like agendas. So I always thought that seemed quite a weakness that should be exploited until they correct that. But I might not know what I'm talking about. Say in the comments below if I know what I'm talking about, but I feel like the Corp does not have enough ways to get cards out of the archives. Anyway, as you can see, I drew into a special order, so I was so happy. I could now go searching for Gordian Blade, hoping that I did have a second one in there, and I did. It looked like it was only the second card down in the deck, apparently it wasn't at the bottom, but either way, I've managed to get my Gordian out now, so I am fully loaded rig. I can snitch into ice. I can break any ice you throw at me. So this is the most dangerous place your runner can be, and he's probably going to win the game very close at this point if he's left with this rig up and not in danger of getting tagged or things trashed. So I sadly have to turn it over to him because I'd run out of clicks to run that server, and I figure that server's going to get scored with his Trick of Lights and everything, but so we'll see if he does that. He's targeting his ice wall, targeting both ice walls, and playing the shipment. So that shipment that we've seen all game, Kaguya, so you get to place 1 advanced token on up to 2 cards, so they now have 3 each. So I guess he's just trying to make it more expensive for me to run R&D and archives. Obviously you could Trick of Light things over, but he's still not advancing that 4th server, so I'm not sure what I'm thinking at this point. I assume it's that maybe that's not an agenda. But so I play my hedge fund, get yet more money. I grab another couple credits off of Armitage, and now with my last 2 credits, I play the standard let's run HQ. So I snitch into the new ice he put out, and he will expose it, and he exposes a charm. So what that does is it just gives an extra 2 strength to the Wall of Thorns, and then it would do a major damage if I can't break the Wall of Thorns, but so there's no reason to basically break the charm. I can, because it will cost me more to break the charm than it will to just take the extra 2 strength on the next ice, which I can easily break. I have the money to do it. So I'm like, yeah, apply the charm. And of course he gave me money rezzing the charm, because I got 3 credits for rezzing the charm. Yeah, so I'm trying. I think right now I am figuring out: do I want to break the charm or do I want to run the thorns blank? But I run the thorns, so it costs 7 now to run the thorns. You know, again, I'm not too worried about money. I've got the Armitage job. I've got a pawn shop. I really have to start bringing in more money. Although I hate to get rid of those employees. Oh, they're so nice. And so, yeah, I'm like, why would I break? He's pretending I wouldn't want to break and just take the net damage. So I go into HQ, and I guess I'm figuring I'm going to run that remote. And so go into HQ, and there it is, Executive Retreat, 3-point agenda. And Tuism screams, and I remember this, he's like, no, I just drew it. So he was very upset that there was a 1 in 5 chance that I got that agenda that he just drew into his hand. So I guess he hasn't been very agenda heavy all game. I was assuming I just kept missing, although odds were that I couldn't have been, but yeah. He's like, no, it's not right. So yeah, so he wants to play again. Unfortunately, I actually ran out of time. I would love to have played again with him. It was a very cool game. I'm really interested in how this criminal deck sustains, because my concern is the criminal deck would be very strong against big ice. Big ice corpse, but not so strong against trappy and small ice. But you know, it seems to hold its own. The compromised employee thing just seems so strong, getting so rich as a criminal. And then it blacks out on me. It looks like a screensaver comes on or something. But yeah, we are blacked out. You guys can see nothing. I'm going to at least put it onto a little screen. But actually, I've got nothing really to end up with, and better to cut the video as short as possible. So, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Tuism, for the game, and everyone who plays the game with me and lets me record. I'm hoping to cast some of the... There's a tournament going on right now. It's been a long tournament, about a month long, I think. It keeps going black. I can't control anything. But yeah, I was hoping to cast some of the tournament games. I assume they're pretty high caliber games, especially since you can only use the same deck in a tournament. So anyone who's made it all the way through to the end of the tournament, it's in like the quarterfinals, semifinals right now. So you know, you've got to assume it's a really strong deck. It'd be really fascinating to watch some of those games. DB0 has been casting them, and so hopefully I'll find one. If you are playing in the tournament and you're listening to this, you know, just send me a line. You can tweet me at ANRcasts. You can just email me or PM me on YouTube, and I will happily cast the game. Just let me know when you're playing. And that's about it. Please like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. It all helps, you know, other people see it. I just want more people to play this game. It's so cool. That's it. That's all I got.